Welcome back as we continue with our broadcast here in Newcastle in the Amajuba district municipality. As I said earlier, this place has so much history. It's unbelievable. Where we are used to be a British military camp once upon a time. But I have someone here next to me who knows extensively about the place. His name is Louis Eksteen and he is a historian. Good morning to you, Louis.
Good morning, thank you very much.
Okay, before we talk about the history in this place, let's talk about the people in the area. What are they like?
Our people are a real rainbow nation, and we have such much flavors, and we are a very welcoming town. Our people are friendly and they will carry you on your hands all the way when you're here.
Let's talk more about the history now. How much history is there? Tell us more about the history.
When somebody asks me how old is Newcastle, I can literally say we are old as the mountains, because we are just closely in the proximate area of the Drakensberg Mountains, and we are very rich in the old history. We've got petrified forests of million years ago, then sun rock paintings, and also late Iron Age workings. Then besides that, we've got our colonial history, which are very important, and also our local Amajuba and Nguni speaking peoples that settled here almost 700 years ago. And we are very well known for our battlefields route of the First Anglo-Boer War. But besides that, there are also other historical places and battles that took place here, since the northwestern area of KwaZulu-Natal was a border area. So battlefields like Black River, Ngwame, Talana, Spioenkop near Ladysmith are also in our vicinity, and also the Anglo-Zulu War battlefields, of course.
What about the surrounding areas? Because, I mean, Amajuba district municipality is huge. What other attractions are there in other towns other than Newcastle?
Our main towns are Newcastle, then there's also Utrecht and Danhausen, and in those places where there are historical town halls, of course, places of religion, mosques and churches, then our history is also very rich in the Amakolwa Christian mission stations. Then smaller towns like Charlestown are very interesting, where Gani, for instance, marched in 1913. There are also the mining towns and small little places like Hartingspryd or Ingogo, which are also famous for our birding routes.
We're broadcasting from Fort Emile Museum. How often do people come to visit the museum?
We've got many tourists coming here, and also school groups, of course, and then the terrain are extensively used also for braais, for instance, and for shows like this. We've got the annual Anglo-Boer Zulu War commemoration here. We're getting people from all over the world, overseas tourists, and so we are very well known and respected on the tour route of the First Anglo-Boer War.
Do the people in this area just know how much the place has to offer as far as tourism is concerned, would you say?
We are trying to make people aware, and we've got various internet websites, of course, but otherwise we've got very important people that came through Newcastle in the past, like Gandhi, I mentioned earlier on. King Dinizulu was imprisoned in Newcastle in 1910. Then Chief Albert Lutuli was a teacher here in his early years of 1917-18 at Blaubush School. And then there's also the birthplace of Mac Maharaj, for instance. And then, of course, people also came to our extensive holiday places. We've got dams for water sports, and also marathons, for instance. We've got annual shows that attracts people, like our winter show and our air show.
I, for one, am from KZN, and I know for certain that, people outside the province seem to think that, like your coastal areas and the Drakensberg is what one could get, the best they can get. Why do you think there is, when there's so much more to see in the province?
Yeah, people are making a mistake to think that we haven't got attractions, but we've got the inland nature reserves over here, very historical places. There's a lot of shopping to do in this area as well. Our crafts and arts are very strong also, that's very unique. And then all our historical places are very unique. And besides that, we are also a center point from where you can depart in the surrounding area when you're visiting other places.
Okay. Thank you so much, Louis. That was Louis Eksteen, a historian in this area, telling us about what you can expect should you decide to take a short left in this part of the country. Now, let's take a break now. Morning Live continues after this.